There it is. First game overview.
Oh.
Didn't like it.
We already. Are we live?
He hasn't given us a thumbs up yet. You did not give us a thumbs up!
I did this.
The bullshit you did!
I have footage of you looking at me.
You just said you guys are ready. I was like, alright, sick, we're ready. I'm waiting for the thumbs up. We're looking at my Steam account. I'm showing off, flexing
All of his games.
all of my games that I take great pride in joy in. But okay, I guess we're working now on the clock. Back to work, Marseille. Pick the computer up. This is the StuffCast.
Go.
Oh fuck, these chairs are
No,
closed.
don't turn.
I want to turn. So
We have new chairs.
We have new chairs. They are, I believe, they are sort of replicas of Eames.
What's an eam?
An Eames is a brand of chair. It's a design of chair that was.
How do you know this?
Toby told me,
Oh.
and he knows a lot about. He knows a lot about chairs.
What games he has? How many? 240?
238. And then I'm sharing 118 with someone else. I mean, do you want me to go through them?
He doesn't want to share his games with me.
I have. Okay, so do you want to go through all of them? Does that make for a good intro, do you think? Okay, we got Abyss Odyssey, Age of Wonders 3,
can you read it?
Alan Wake, America's Nightmare, The Ambassador, Fraction Timelines, Amnesia, Machine for Pigs, Amnesia, The Dark Descent, Astroneer, Bastion.
Faster.
Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham, Battle Blocks here, Bayonetta, Bear With Me, The Binding of Isaac, Bioshock, Bioshock Remastered, Bioshock 2, Bioshock 2 Remastered, Bioshock Infinite, Blair Witch, Bloodstained, Borderlands 2, Brawlhalla, Brink Brothers.
You're doing good.
I know, doing good. Brutal Legend, Bulletstorm, Castle Crashers, Celeste, Children of Mortar, Citadel Forged in Fire, Command & Conquer Remastered, Company of Heroes 2, Conan, Chop, Conan Unconquered, Counter-Strike, Global Offense, Creature in the Well, Cuphead, Dark Void, Darkness 2, Darksiders 2, Darksiders War Master Edition, Darwin Project, Daymare 1998, Daisy Experimental Server, Dead Cells, Destiny 2, Destroy All Humans, Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, Dirty Bomb, Disco Elysium, Don't Starve Together, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, Double Action, Dragon, Drawful 2. Do I need to keep going?
No, you don't.
Thank you. This is the StuffCast.
You get an idea of the library.
Yes, this is the StuffCast. We're here to talk about news. We're here to talk about updates. Thank you.
that was great reading speed. It could have been like slightly faster, then you can go and be one of those.
I took a course in speed reading.
Auctioneer.
You
can be an auctioneer.
Yes, I could be an auctioneer. I took a course in speed reading when I was about grade 10.
Is that a course?
Yeah, it was a
Why
course.
would you do that?
No, it was like how to study better, and one of the things was speed reading.
Like reading quickly with comprehension.
With comprehension.
Okay.
Yeah, so I took a course in that. I don't remember how to do it, but
that's cool.
I did it. I did a course in that. Okay, let's.
What's happening? What's happening in your life?
What's happening in my life? I'm so loving you guiding the conversation this week. It's so nice. I feel like I'm usually having to prompt questions, and it's good. I'm going. Life is good at the moment. I got very mad at my cat yesterday.
Your cat got mad at you.
She as well. Well, she got mad at me because I got mad at her.
Yes.
I was trying to play a game and she kept standing because I got like a little alcove in my desk where I can push my keyboard in when I'm done not using it, and she could see like drawstrings of my dice, my D&D dice bag, like in there. And she just kept going for it, and she just kept walking all over my keyboard, and like I was playing Mortal Shell, which I'll get to in a second, and it's a shit hard game. And every time she walked over like the keyboard, it would switch from my controller back to my keyboard. I would lose all input on my controller and just have the shit hit out of me. So eventually I sort of just picked, there was a time where I almost wanted to yeet her onto the bed like a lunatic, but then I chose, I was like, no, maybe I shouldn't do this.
What if your webcam is running and the internet sees it?
Well, exactly, that's the problem. So I sort of just like picked her up and like put her, rather, not forcefully, but like with purpose, down on the ground. I said, stay there now. Then she just jumped back up. Then she just said, fine, get out. And I locked out the room.
She was angry.
And then she was so cross. Then she came in and she didn't even want to look at me.
Clearly.
I mean, look, she still jumped on the bed and slept with me, so that's fine. That's basically my week.
Summed up.
That was the majority of my week.
In other news, we had chip and dip today.
And I had 1,000 Island sauce on it. The best sauce at chip and dip, don't at me. is very, very good. The people that have set up that little stall just down the street, because it opens every Friday, does it not?
They must make a killing on Fridays.
They make so much cash because it's like 35 rand for like the biggest thing, and they open every Friday.
Yeah.
And they got like a little area where you can like park there, and the guy comes to like your car window and is like, "Hey, what do you want?" He brings you a menu, and you're like, "Hey, I want this," and he just goes, gets chips, comes back,
brings a card machine.
He lets you know you have to get out your car. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the fast eating future that I was promised by Wally. And
that's what we've been saying. COVID is gonna make people innovate.
It's about innovation. It's about evolution. It's about creativity,
new business solutions,
and imagination.
Yes, and that's exactly what the Chip and Dip stands.
And that's Chip and Dip. I think that's the logo of Chip and Dip. I think it's Dip a Chip and innovate.
Yes,
that's what it is. Okay, so should we actually stop dicking around and talk about what we need to talk about?
What have you been playing?
Major positive Chip and Dip. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
That's the only positive of COVID-19 is that Chip and Dip has been forced to innovate. Because actually, if you think about it, it's good. No, actually, going back to this. It is like Chip and Dip would have died because of COVID-19.
Yes, because no more festivals.
Because there's no more festivals. So there's no like live events that are going to be like setting up shop. So what have they done? They're going to set up outside houses. Why not just set up outside a house?
Perfect solution.
It's the perfect solution. And then next to it, there was some what's it? There's like a little donut stand.
Yeah, mini donuts.
But they weren't as good because they were still like heating the donuts.
They were still heating the oil, but
we got there at like 12 o'clock, and it's like, well, right, it's a bit late for this, guys.
But load shed.
Oh, there was load shedding. Right, there was load shedding.
So it's not their fault.
But even better then, because like so there was load shedding, and Chip and Dip was just like
it was just running.
Yeah, have it. See, now this is where the generator comes in. This is how you expand business out even further. You got to bring the generator in, and then you set up on street corners. So you move your mobile shop around to areas, like you track the load shedding schedule, and you move around to areas that are being load shed, and you just set up on a corner with your generator.
It's brilliant.
You retire by the age of 35, invest in property, then you're sold. You sort it. You don't need to do shit else.
Get Chip and Dip on every street corner.
Screw this podcast. I'm making a call. I realized I was going to stand up, and I realized I still had a mic on me.
Solar-powered fryers. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like solar-powered fryers. Maybe you get like one of those little fucking windmill things.
Yeah.
And you put it on top. And then
I don't think they don't generate a lot of power. But solar power doesn't either. To heat oil.
No, you need a lot of power.
You need a lot.
You just get a shit ton of matches and just hold it there.
Or gas. Yes, easy. Done.
We're in the wrong industry.
Talking about industry.
We're in the wrong industry. No.
What games have you been playing, Brad? Tell us. I'm interested.
Let me whip open my computer that I closed very forcefully because, quite frankly, I'm having a very I'm questioning my career options at this point. So the first thing that I was playing a lot of this weekend was Marvel's Avengers game.
Yeah. How is it? People are angry.
I'm one of those people. No, I'm not angry. I'm just incredibly disappointed because, jeez.
When does the NDA lift?
The NDA?
For like reviews.
Well, the game hasn't launched yet. It was just the beta that they showed off this weekend.
But you can talk about it and write about it.
I'm not sure if I can write about it. No, other outlets have written about it. I just haven't yet because I want to spend a bit more time with it this week. I need the controller. Can I get custody of the controller this weekend? Well, okay. What was I saying?
I need it later for the next stream.
Oh, you do need it later. I'll come click it tomorrow.
Okay.
The Avengers game is they were trying to make Destiny 2, but they made Anthem. It's this weird amalgamation of how do we take a beat 'em up or brawler with a superhero setting, a very iconic one at that, and make it into a game that is going to have legs over several years, right?
Yeah.
And if anything, from just a pure business perspective, that is kind of a shit idea when Endgame was last year. And like there hasn't been a Marvel movie at all this year. You know, like which is fine. They're taking time to set up their next phase. Whatever. But like if you really wanted to do a game like that had that like fervor over a series of years, the time to release it was 3 years ago. Yeah. Building up to like Infinity War. Like they missed their shot. No one gives a shit now. You know? Beyond the fact that it's just a hyper average game. There's nothing unique or special about it. There is very little in the way of sort of, and maybe this is just the beta, but like depth to the combat, because the game's like, oh, you have all these amazing abilities and power-ups, and your gear changes this and that. But at the end of the day, if you just mash square, everything dies anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah, it sounds boring.
It's so like you can play as Iron Man and Hulk and Thor and
you'd expect that to be like
you'd expect that to be
an
rad as
amazing
shit.
experience. Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, it's just mash square and everything dies around you in exactly the same way. So what's the point? You know?
Yeah, that sounds.
It feels like a game that started off. It started off with a sort of direction in mind, and then Destiny 2 happened, and I'm speaking out of turn here because I don't know if this was the case. But it feels like the publishers were like, guys, if you just change these little things here, and here, we can make a shit ton more cash. And it feels like the game was forcibly changed direction after a while it was still in development. And that's why nothing feels great. And this is another huge issue I have with it. There's two main issues I have with it. Beyond the generals, it's boring. Is the loot you pick up, because it's a loot game, you get loot drops and whatnot. The loot you get is invisible in that it doesn't show up on your character or hero, which sucks.
So what is it then?
It's just numbers. It's just percentages and numbers. So it doesn't, and they made this big deal about
like coins and stuff.
Not even. It's just you don't even. It's nothing tangible. It's
like
just
XP.
like basically just XP. Like you equip this special helmet to Iron Man to do something. His helmet doesn't change. It's just a thing. It's like a little bar goes up and down. It's like, well, and I know why they've done it. It's to capitalize on the whole skin market because they're going to be selling skins as microtransactions.
No,
and
but that's lame then.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Diablo, you see your changes.
Well, exactly. Like and Destiny does that as well, and that's what makes. I feel like on a very cosmetic, superficial level, that's one of the important things about developing a loot game. Is you want to be able to show off what you've earned. But what they've done
why
instead,
even build that into the game as a thing then?
Well, it's to get people to keep playing it over longer periods of time and grinding stuff out and whatnot. Make it it's not free though. You still have to pay $60 for it.
No,
rather make a skill map.
That's why you do it like that, yeah.
Rather make a skill map.
Well, there are skill maps.
But then you've got the invisible
you've got
items.
the loot modifiers basically. Yeah, very, as Devin says, very Asian.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I know it's the second they were like, yeah, you can unlock and buy skins for money, and I was like, well, that's the reason the loot's invisible, because they want to sell those skins, because that's the visual appearance, right?
That's annoying.
Which is so bullshit. It is such a missed opportunity, especially when you have a character like Iron Man, who you could do so much cool shit with in terms of loot and design, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like the different.
The other big issue I have with that game, and we only have an hour. I can't go on about it for too long. But this is something I'm incredibly passionate about because I love comic books and I love the Avengers and whatnot. The voice acting in that game is atrocious. It is utter dog shit. And I don't want to call out Nolan North and Troy Baker and all those lovely people because they're very nice people, and I'm sure it's mainly a direction thing. But my God, has every single character phoned in their performance in that game.
I must say, the first long trailer, like cinematic trailer that came out of that game, I watched and I was like, this is terrible. Like the voice acting is like so subpar.
It's better for some characters. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, she's by far and away the most enthusiastic, passionate voice actor in that whole cast. Like you can hear it in the way she's performing and playing her lines. She is miles ahead of everyone else. And then you get to Thor, who is just talking like this, Stark. Where is my hammer, Stark? Feel the might of Thor, he says as he smashes in a robot skull.
Yeah, that's
wow. You've really empowered me with the Mjolnir and the Rainbow Road thing. What is it called? What is
Bifrost.
The Bifrost. Yeah, you've really compelled me to that you power there, Thor. And Tony Stark's getting mad at Bruce Banner. That's why we had the Avengers, Bruce. I'm angry. That's what it's like.
Oh, that's terrible.
What are you doing? You have this amazing property that people love. And it's like you're spitting in the face of everyone. You know?
Yeah.
It
No.
feels like the model should go after saying them.
It's exactly. It feels like it should be one of those like old kung fu movies where like they say something and then their moves talk. You know, like that. Like, oh God, it's so frustrating. I'm gonna skip. We have a lot to talk about in news, so I'm gonna leave out that one. All three of us, less you, I suppose, have been playing a lot of Grounded this week. I know Heath.
I've been watching a lot of
watching a lot of Grounded. Heath, you've been playing Grounded. You sat and played Grounded for like 9 hours on Wednesday. When was
You
it?
played 3 hours almost last night on stream. That's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's all on YouTube. Like, and I think you and Heath, I don't know if you're mic'd up. I don't know if you can talk about your experience with Grounded. Can we pick you up? Are we picking you up?
They can hear me in the back. Is good.
Heath likes it a lot.
Yeah, he enjoys it a lot, but he's very much okay. Just to give you an idea, his favorite stuff to watch on YouTube is that what's that dude's name that goes out and just builds stuff in nature? Can't remember. Primitive technology.
Yeah.
He goes out with nothing and he builds his tools. He breaks down everything.
So-
He builds stuff.
But it's not about
Like,
the story.
He
That's
loves
what
that
the
kind
game-
of
Don't worry, I'll
survival
defend
stuff.
you now. I'll defend you now.
He likes the survival stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because like the reason I'm not as invested on it yet. I think at some point in the future I will be very invested. Is that there's about an hour worth of narrative. I wouldn't call it story. I would call it a narrative. If we're going to be pedantic, I have a master's degree in creative writing. Could you tell? There's about an hour's worth of narrative, and then.
But remember, it's in beta.
That's the thing. So the
It's
reason.
an early access, so obviously there's not a lot of content.
Well, yes. The reason I think Heath is enjoying it so much is because he's not playing it for that written narrative. He's playing it for his own, to craft his own story. It's a lot similar to, in his words, Minecraft than I thought it was going to be. Less, what's the word? Less open-ended, and that you can't make like monoliths and shit.
Yeah.
But like the grounded work to create your own bases and whatnot is all very.
And there's a lot
similar.
of like space to evolve into something like big, like Minecraft level.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the reason you're enjoying it. He's enjoying it more than.
There's crafting menus.
Yeah,
the
there's
crafting menus are massive. Like there's so many things to craft. He's been playing for a few hours and he can build a whole lot of other stuff that we didn't even see.
Listen. I busted my ass for 6 years.
No, it's not creative writing. What's your master's in? Linguistics.
Creative writing.
Wasn't it linguistics?
No.
Someone lied to me.
Someone lied to you. No, I did my undergrad in linguistics, my honors in linguistics, and my master's in creative writing. Yeah.
Your honors in.
That's why I'm so talented. I don't know what it's just a natural, you know. Honestly, I regret doing it. It's a total waste of my time.
A BA is a waste of time.
Yes, and listen, it got us a decent job and stuff. So.
So. That's all you want to talk about?
That's all I want to talk about.
Oh, no, that's not. You want to talk about
I just realized because I was going to talk about.
You've been speaking about Avengers for 20 minutes.
I know, because I'm just so passionate about it.
No, you're not. You hate it.
I hate it so much. I was going to talk about Mortal Shell, and then I checked up the NDA before this, and I'm only allowed to talk about that on Monday.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll be playing
next
tomorrow.
week.
But the two big ones for this week were Grounded and Avengers.
Yeah.
I just needed to get that out. It was been sitting on my soul like a gargoyle in the rain, and I needed to express my rage.
That's fine.
Like the Hulk, if you will.
Yeah.
Topical.
Yeah, very
Avengers.
topical.
So fun.
I need to express my rage.
Yes, exactly. That is it. Exactly. If I was Troy Baker in the Avengers, if I was playing Hulk, that make me angry. Because I'm angry now. Can you tell how angry I am? Furious. So angry. That's it. Story. How's the story? Thank you, Devin, for letting me continue my rant. God, I love an enabler. The story is like the most standard Avengers narrative you could possibly write these days. It's something happens, something goes wrong, and the Avengers break up. Do you know how many times the Avengers are broken up at this point? It happens like every 3 years.
Maybe they should just give up on that relationship.
Well, you'd think.
Iron Man written on this sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
Avengers 5.
Avengers 5, Civil War. Civil War 6. Avengers are broken up like 3 times, so like that's
Domestic violence.
So like it's at the point where like I just don't care about the Avengers breaking up anymore. Yeah, and they introduced MODOK, which is cool because MODOK is not really a villain you'd expect to see in something like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's just a bit too weird. But at the end of the day, they don't capitalize enough on. Well, look, they've only the beta's 3 or 4 story missions, and the rest is like grind fests. So the story I've played up until this point is basically like the best part about it is Kamala Khan coming in and trying to restructure the Avengers as like this upstart superhero who's always admired them and looked up to them and wanted so desperately to be a part of them. And that's the best part. Her character is the best part of the whole thing. And then everyone else is just a phoned in clone of every other iteration you've seen. Just less interesting.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to
We
see.
talked about. Yeah, I can imagine it's. I've never subjected myself to Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't think I ever want to.
I don't know it.
It's you don't know Dragon Ball Evolution?
No.
Oh, we've got to watch that. Now I do actually want to watch it. If I'm watching with someone else, then I'm watching it.
Okay.
Have you seen it? You?
Yeah, in the fucking cinema.
You went to the cinema to see.
I was very young when it like dropped.
Yeah, of course.
Cinema. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch
Dragon Ball Evolution, and then you.
like,
What is this? What is this?
shit?
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, who wasn't pissed by Dragon Ball Evolution? And what an atrocious movie. No, definitely we need to watch it as well. We'll watch it at some point when you come visit me in Joburg. Okay, enough about Avengers. I've spoken for like 25 minutes about Avengers. I can't talk about anything anymore. We can talk about news. Please talk
What about my gaming?
What have you played? Hey, what have you played?
Now I have like 2 seconds to talk. I have been playing Paladins on the Switch, and it's like it's a massive game changer in my life.
I need to apologize because I actually didn't think you had anything to play. I didn't think
That's
you
so
had anything.
mean.
Well, you never had. You never.
I'm busy with other stuff, but this week I've been taking time to play.
Good. I'm proud of you. Tell me about Paddlers on the Switch.
I can sit on the couch and do it, and my friends play it with me.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
You invited me to play it with you, and I just haven't got
And
around
you
to
just
downloading it
didn't.
yet. I'm downloading it this weekend. I swear to God, I promise I'm
that's all.
downloading it this
We
weekend.
can go on to news now.
Can we go on to news? Is that
Yes,
it? Do you not
yes.
want to talk about how it plays on the Switch, or is it?
It's fine. We don't have much time.
Okay. No, man. We can, okay.
Yeah, keep it up.
We don't have to keep to an hour. We're like 15 minutes over. Okay, can we talk about
It
news?
does exist, and it has a solid player base. It might just be 20,000,
Yes.
but you always.
But it's always a game.
always
It's
get a
it's a
game.
stable 20,000.
We always get
There
a
are dozens of us. Dozens. Keith, can you play the news jingle?
The news jingle.
Play the news jingle. Okay, Marcel, can you do the news jingle for us?
No.
Thank you. That's the news. Thank you. Let's go on to the news. And now, for the news. Marcel,
I don't know.
away to my co-anchor.
Epic Games is suing everyone.
Epic Games has got a big old legal boner for everybody on the market. And you can hear the stocks going through the roof. Stonks. So yes, the big news that in many ways I'm glad we're doing this podcast now and not yesterday, because we couldn't have spoken about it yesterday.
Also yesterday, load shedding.
Also yesterday there was load shedding, so that was a bit of a pain in the dick. The big news at the moment is that Epic Games is suing Apple and Google for basically creating a monopoly over the distribution
The app
of apps.
stores.
Yeah, distribution of apps across both app stores. Yeah.
Yes.
So the whole thing basically started when Epic announced that they are cutting costs
Of V-Bucks.
of V-Bucks by 20% across the board for everyone.
That's on mobile and on PC and on
everyone.
consoles, everything.
Beyond that, what they implemented in the mobile games was that you can now choose to do a direct payment
To them.
to Epic
And
Games.
not through the App Store.
And not through the App Store.
Or the
Because the big thing was that Apple and Google take a 30% cut of all the transactions made through their stores, right?
Yeah.
Which is a huge,
I'm
huge margin.
if I'm like, I think Apple and Google's are different. Apple charges more than Google.
They're both 30. I checked this morning.
Is it?
Both 30. I
Okay.
checked this morning. It's a lot. It is a disgustingly huge margin. And considering that there's no other place to really, especially for Apple, Google's a different story because you can go
You can sideload
illegally.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's not illegal.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, sorry, not Fortnite, but like to get an APK off
No,
like
you
other
can get
places. I suppose it's
no,
not
you can
illegal.
get an APK from APK Pure, like
Yeah,
off,
that's
on the
what
Huawei
it's-
phones.
It's
It's
just-
not illegal. It's just you don't have that security.
It's still
Lit.
free, yeah. If it is free, then it's free,
Yeah.
right? I used to get APKs for like paid games, and that's why.
Yeah. See, that's
that's
illegal.
illegal.
That's illegal. Yeah.
The statute of limitations has long since passed. I'm in the clear. Don't come for me, FBI. What was I saying? So yes, Epic was like, this isn't cool.
This is
isn't
our
cool, guys.
money.
This is our money. Give us the money. So then they did this whole direct thing, and then Apple was like, no, I think I find it's our money. And then Epic was like, no, it's our money. And then Apple was like, off you go. And Epic was like, cool, here's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And that's
And following that, Google did the same.
and then Google did the exact same, and they were like,
So it's weird. Like this morning, I woke up. I saw The Verge wrote 7 hours before when I was reading. They wrote Fortnite is off the Google App Store, and then I saw a tweet by Fortnite an hour before that said Fortnite's still available on the App Store, on the Play Store. So I checked, and it wasn't.
oh really?
I wonder what happened there.
What happened there? I don't know. But like, it's
not available by the way.
no, it's not available anymore.
Yeah.
It's a really, and I don't know if I'm getting too invested in this because I like the idea of sticking it to Apple and Google, even though I don't like the idea of still like backing and supporting a corporation, even if there is a smaller guy. But like, this could have huge ramifications across both app stores. It could fundamentally change the way apps are distributed on mobile devices.
Which is what
Oh, wow.
what we want, right?
Yeah,
That's
a damn good point as
Yeah,
well.
that is a good point.
Market.
Because
Well, yeah.
well, Fortnite's available on Huawei. Huawei is pushing mobile gaming.
Yeah,
it's,
Huawei's
it's
pushing-
easy to load games on Huawei's. We both have them.
We
so-
both have them, and they both work beautifully.
Yeah.
Like, that is actually that, and they don't have the markup here, right?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
huge.
They know this game can help them push.
Oh yeah.
But not
Like
just that.
like Huawei comes in and
Ooh,
says
that's
to
a very
Epic,
good idea.
come host on us. You can take all the money you want.
Yeah.
That is massive.
Yeah.
They if they contain like Fortnite's mobile exclusivity,
Isn't Epic
Oh.
owned by Tencent?
they have Tencent has a 10% share in Epic, but they don't own it. They have a 10% stakehold. Yeah.
So they're 10% Chinese.
Yeah, sure.
And
But the-
Huawei is Chinese.
Yeah, but Tim Sweeney has come out and said, like, Tencent doesn't control us at all. I make all the decisions.
But still,
They just have interest.
Huawei
yeah.
can easily make a deal.
No, easy.
Easy.
But it's, yeah, this is
It's a good point.
I feel like this is going to have massive ramifications across.
I hope so.
I hope
actually
so,
really do,
because
because
Apple and Google.
Apple has a monopoly on their ecosystem, which is highly annoying. I would, as a tech journalist, I would advise any person who asks me not. I'll tell them not to get an iPhone,
Oh yeah.
just because of the terrible App Store situation.
And the ecosystem is so, what's the word?
Rigid.
Rigid. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's so
that's
rigid.
good.
You can't play around with it as much as you want. You can't. I don't know. I'm not using my words correctly, but it is a rigid store, and I hate it. It's not
Yeah.
nice. We were talking about it a bit earlier, and I think my least favorite part of this whole situation, as much as I'm very glad Epic's doing what they're doing, and I think it's someone's got to stick it to Apple. And as much as I don't think their intentions are altruistic, I think the outcome is going to be very beneficial for a lot of people. I really hate the fact that they announced the lawsuit with a trailer. I really didn't.
I kind of like it. Yeah,
Honestly,
I think it takes balls to do that.
I just don't like the fact that they very blatantly missed the point of 1984 again, like everyone does. I also just don't like the fact that they portrayed themselves as like this hero. Look at us. Look, all you plebeians, consumed by Apple. We are Epic. Look at us. We are the heroes. I was just like, okay, you're doing some good stuff,
see,
but
that's
let's calm down.
That's not how I saw it, though.
I saw it as like, that's a graphic and design team. in 1 hour.
Yeah, in 1 hour.
They did get it up very quickly.
Very
I'll give them that. I just don't like the subtext of Epic seeing themselves as the savior.
But that's not how I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer as Apple is being a dictator. Let's stand up to them.
No, it's more like the kids are the same.
Yeah.
That's the one that you.
Well, but the kids have been consumed, and Apple and Epic is just showing them the way because Epic is the forward thinker. Okay, guys, you're filing as a lawsuit. You're not leading like a rebellion. Like
No, the trailer gets people on their side, which is fair. Like,
it does. No,
but what Brad mentioned was, like, they are showing impressionable young children this, and it might be problematic, which is a fair point.
I don't think it's necessarily problematic. I just don't like the idea of, in a sense, it's too dramatic of a word, but weaponizing the youth like that. You know, giving the youth this feeling of we're part of this greater movement. You know, let us side with Apple. With Epic. You know.
But rather that, I'd rather have them side with a gaming company than side with Apple or even Google.
And you can go the other way. You can see it as they're actually just showing kids you have the power.
Yeah.
They could be doing that.
Yeah, consumers need to understand that they have the power.
The client has the power.
Yeah.
It's not the other way.
If anything, the nice thing about that is the nice thing about this trailer, as much as I really feel like Epic was getting on their high horse and praising themselves a little too much, it is nice to see them saying, you guys don't have to settle for this. You know? So that is good. I just the framing around it is just I didn't enjoy that. But I'm talking a lot of shit, but I'm glad that Epic is.
I think it's very ballsy what they're doing and how they are handling it. It's actually very entertaining and interesting to watch and follow.
It is because it is going to fundamentally change the mobile
because like
landscape.
The same thing happened. The U.S. government is suing Apple for the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But that didn't garner as much attention online. No one knew about about the hearing and sat in and watched it if you weren't a tech journalist. This is actually making it public. This is showing people the power that Apple has with their store.
And it's because it's like the whole government hearing. People think of like, hey, you see the government hearing of the antitrust hearing. I was like, no, of course I didn't watch the government hearing. Why did I watch that? You know what people would watch? People watch a damn trailer
in
put out by Fortnite. Yeah,
exactly.
People watch that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those same kids are the kids that are going to get a job and have to buy your product. Like 5-10 years.
Yeah. So it's as much as the subtext I don't particularly enjoy. It was such a clever move on their part.
Impactful.
So clever. Like again, but it comes down. It's what we've seen with Fortnite in the past. Like, even though it is an exceptionally derivative game of others, the way they've pushed that game and marketed it is miles and above
what anyone else
is doing. They are so clever with how they've done. Remember last year when Fortnite, they literally closed it down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And and it just happened. They didn't release anything, and it was part of like their season 2 thing, whatever it was, chapter 2, whatever it was.
With that black hole thing. And like how many millions of people tuned in and watched the black hole for hours?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's brilliant marketing.
Brilliant. Also, to answer your question, yes, TikTok. They are trying to ban TikTok in America.
So Donald Trump gave them 45 days.
Yeah, to make a deal with Microsoft.
To make a deal with a US company. So if a US company buys the US market of TikTok, then they can continue in the country. If that does not happen, TikTok needs to be pulled out of the country completely.
Yes. Didn't you also read that Twitter was trying to get involved in that?
Yeah, so Twitter might be interested in buying TikTok as well, which we think would be a better fit.
That would be a better fit
than Microsoft, because 100%. Microsoft has never had a successful social media platform in its life.
I browse my LinkedIn religiously. Don't know what to tell you.
But they bought it when it was already doing well, so it doesn't really count. They didn't build one from scratch. Also, TikTok's already doing well, but I think Twitter will do very well with a TikTok.
Yeah, Twitter would be exceptionally wise to pick up on TikTok. Yeah. It'd be such a great blend for that quick consumption of media and video and whatnot. It just blends so nicely.
Yeah.
Microsoft, I just don't see how it would. I don't see how they would incorporate into anything they currently have.
Microsoft's a very like older person type brand.
It's an old
like
person company. I don't get what
and
you're
TikTok is so Gen Z and younger. Like I don't even get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So I don't know how the old white men at Microsoft are gonna deal with it.
But yeah, so it isn't being banned. It is basically trying to be auctioned off. And if it is auctioned off, then
It's fine.
It
It can stay.
if Microsoft doesn't make a deal, or Twitter doesn't make a deal, or whoever, then
It leaves.
It's out. Yeah, basically.
Easy.
So
But that won't affect South Africa.
no, it won't affect us at all. Fortunately. Dog, I miss Vine every day. I dream about
was
Vine.
the best.
I miss Vine every day. The Vine was two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay. That's iconic. What are you talking about? That's the best things ever produced for the internet. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah, Vines
anyway.
were great.
Okay, let's move on to.
It will affect the content.
Oh yeah, 100% will affect the content.
And influencers will not make money.
Influencers will have to move over to
Reels.
Instagram Reels.
Reels.
Oh, man.
For Reels.
If you think about it,
So lame.
imagine if Facebook bought TikTok and then integrated it into
It won't
Instagram.
buy TikTok.
No, it won't. But could you imagine them doing that and then integrating it just directly into Instagram instead of Reels? What a power move!
Like
That sounds like a Facebook asked them
but
to
they
do.
won't do it now.
They won't do it. They
Not
won't,
after the antitrust hearing.
No, definitely not. But
Because Mark Zuckerberg was shitting himself there. You could see it. So it's just like, no, we didn't buy Instagram because it was no, we didn't. He was really scared.
But they definitely did.
No, they did.
Yeah.
They bought Instagram because it was a threat.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, can we move on to the next story?
Yes.
Is okay, cool, wonderful. Because I also want to talk about this is the other thing I want to talk about quite a lot about. Is we have confirmation that the Xbox Series X is launching in November. We know that. We don't know what date it's coming.
So that means we're probably getting the PS5 too.
Which means we'll probably be getting the PS5. Well, no, we'll get the PS5 1. PS5 2 might be a bit later. Because he said we'll get the PS5 2. You see what I'm saying?
Fine.
You see what I'm saying?
I was too slow for that. But it should, they normally launch them in November so people can buy them for their kids for Christmas.
Yeah, for the Christmas rush.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me about it is that we are 3 months away from a new console launch, and I don't think it's ever been like this. I don't think it's ever been as tight as this. And we still have no idea the exact launch dates, nor do we have an idea of pricing. Because it feels like the competition between Sony and Microsoft is so tight at the moment that neither one wants to pull the trigger, because it's going to be an exorbitant cost on both consoles.
Yeah.
And neither wants to pull the trigger because the person who pulls it, they want to see that exactly, and they're going to wait for the other person to announce price, and then whoever is second is going to announce a lower price. And I think
I don't think Sony will be cheaper than the Xbox. I think Xbox is gonna come.
Sony is going to be disgustingly expensive.
Dude, it's gonna be so expensive.
But so there is that. I think Sony could be very, very expensive. Right? The PlayStation could be extremely expensive, or they could do what they did
with the PS4.
The PS4 and take that hit, take that price hit, make it
for
cheaper
the first year or so,
and then make it all up in following years and with software and
with games.
Which is what that's the two options.
That's the ideal, I think, especially for people in like South Africa.
Yeah.
And
to be honest, though, even if it's like double the price of the Xbox, I would take it.
I think if it goes over like 12, it'll be 12. Like a bit excessive.
Yeah, what are we estimating? What are we estimating?
I'm capping at 12.
I would say I would pay 12,000. That's it.
For PS5.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 10. I'm thinking 10.
That's what I would go for. That's my max.
Sure.
Max
12 is. It's still that is a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I can imagine it being new motherboard tickets
and way of COVID has affected shit and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Japan is still, the borders are still closed and.
But so I've read that Sony has said that's not affecting their distribution, so that's fine. But yeah, it's a weird time for the next gen. I don't think anyone could have imagined it to be as difficult for both companies to launch their next console when the world is on fire, basically, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be a nice surprise. At least we get consoles.
It's gonna be a nice surprise when you rock up to say like, cool, how much is the Series X? 19,000 rand.
No,
Okay,
I'm sure the Series X is gonna be cheaper than 10,000.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close, eh?
Gaming laptop or
Yeah.
I think they'll go. Xbox is really good with their hardware. Remember, they manufacture everything themselves.
True, and the Xbox One was always the more powerful console of this current generation. So
it's gonna be cheaper.
I think it will be cheaper than the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be cheap.
I think it'll be under 10. I think it'll be under 10.
Close, eh? I think it's gonna be roughly 10 grand. I could see it being that.
Come on, Bill Gates, give us cheap Xbox.
It is a decent point that like those prices are they are beginning to rival PCs.
Yeah.
Because you think about the Xbox Series X, and maybe less so for the PlayStation 5, because it doesn't have the integration with Game Pass and Windows, is really just a pre-built, really powerful PC. You know?
Yeah.
The reason I would pay that money for a PlayStation is because of it. It's all, for me, it's like the tech side, because they can...
And the games.
And the software.
The games as well, but they can take that tech and they can put in the same that an Xbox has, but it's going to run better because of their motherboard difference.
Heath, we really need to get you on camera, dog.
Yeah, it doesn't help you sit there and...
We really need to get you on camera as well. So what was I going to say? Oh yes, talking about software, the other thing that concerns me slightly about, not concerns me, but is I assume very worrying for Xbox and Microsoft, is that the same day that they announced their November launch date, 343 Industries, those folks that are doing Halo Infinite were like, we're not going to make that, guys. We're going to have to push it back. Which is what they did.
Brad did the whole call that happened, and it was brilliant.
Of 343 Industries phoning up Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Like, Daddy Phil, hey, how's it going? Oh no, hey guys, how's it going? How's Halo Infinite doing? Oh no, yeah, no, it's good. We have a problem. Oh yeah, what's the problem? You need some more of those polygons. Hey, yeah, we need more time. Sorry, what you need? Time for what? Well, we would just, I don't know, thinking maybe like delaying it. Oh yeah, delaying it for when? Like December or like late November? We were just maybe like 2021. Sorry, what is that? 2020? You said that? No, well, actually, it's more like 2021. You say 2021. Yeah, 21. And at that point, you can see Phil Spencer sort of climbing through the phone and doing a good punch on him.
Yeah.
Doing a very good punch.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what
happened, although Phil Spencer seems like a very nice man. So the big thing was that the Xbox Series X was going to launch alongside a new Halo. That was the big selling point for it.
And now it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not launching alongside any
major exclusive software. It's not launching alongside anything.
That's interesting.
Which is really
for the PlayStation.
Well, the thing is, so the PlayStation is at this point going to be launching with the new Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Which isn't a full game.
They're probably going to remaster The Last of Us 2.
They'll remaster The Last of Us 2.
I would definitely.
Oh yeah, no, they'll remaster The Last of Us 2.
Horizon.
But it's not. No, we're talking launch here.
Oh, yeah.
Launch.
No, Horizon's 2022 at this point.
Yeah.
So like the PlayStation's got like it's got a Spider-Man game alongside.
Which is a solid launch title.
The backwards compatibility. So you
also,
yeah. So I heard they want to build in like an emulation system, right? So it's software running the game.
Yeah. Not the actual hardware. I mean that's a similar case for Xbox. But the big thing, like when you launch a new console, no one at the day of launch, no one gives a shit about whether it can play old games. Everyone wants to know what it can do new.
Yeah.
You know? So the fact that Halo Infinite isn't launching alongside the new Xbox is pretty substantial. It is a big hit for Microsoft. You know, especially considering that well exactly, Spider-Man is a console seller in itself. The fact that you don't and Halo to some extent is as well. If you're launching a console and you don't have your main console seller there,
it's going to be hard to sell. It's just going to be harder to sell.
Gears of War wasn't that their thing?
Gears of War became, it's also available on Steam now as well. It became a non-Xbox exclusive, became a Windows Microsoft exclusive basically. And Halo is also on PC, but Halo does make it an exclusive, but it also they were punting it as the Xbox Series X.
And
launch
Halo
game.
is on PC as well.
Yeah.
So.
But they should do what PlayStation does, because they had exclusive rights on Horizon Zero for a certain time. And then go.
No, they won't do that because they have Game Pass.
Because of Game Pass, they'll never do that. Yeah, they don't need to do that because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
But look, it's still gonna have a huge catalog of games to like upgrade a better premium version or shit like that. It's just
We'll
just
just
a
have
massive.
to see, like, because with the PS5 titles, a whole bunch of them, or PS4 titles, will give you a free upgrade to PS5. So that's also nice content that you're gonna have if you already own those games.
Yeah, true. It's just which is for me, that is a way to satisfy consumers before you actually give them something new.
Yeah.
It's not the thing you sell a thing with. It's how you satiate before you actually deliver something exceptional, right?
How much do you think that the launch trailer and the launch reactions from people
Of Halo
influenced this plan to
Look, they
move
might
it
have delayed
out?
it on account of the fact. So I think there's two reasons that played into it. The thing that 343 went out there and said, "Hey, look, we haven't delayed this because of COVID stuff. Everyone working from home." And the thing that they didn't mention, I think might have had a small part in delaying it, was that it looked like shit. It looked awful.
It did.
How can you release something like that?
How can you?
We're living in the age where everybody's chasing graphics, not functionality.
Well, exactly.
So
And
how don't you have good graphics?
The thing is, Halo's never been a graphical pusher.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is enough to excuse exactly toy soldier graphics.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can't say, yeah, look, Halo's never been about graphics. But quite frankly, that is the launch game for a new console. You cannot deliver something that is of a 360 quality look.
Yeah.
You know?
Even though it isn't like in the graphics, I remember the first time I played Halo 1 on my PC, and I was like in awe of just how that world looked.
Yeah.
Like it's big, you can do so much stuff, you see the ring building out in front of you. It's cool.
It looks amazing.
It's like awesome. So
I have to wonder because I saw
you some rocks in the distance.
Yeah, no, it was very underwhelming. But yeah, I don't know. The screenshots of that game looked worse than it did in motion.
Yeah.
In motion, it looked fine, but I mean, you put motion blur and film grain on anything, and it looks a little bit better, right? But yeah, I mean, when Halo 3 launched on the 360, the thing people spoke about wasn't how amazing it looked. People spoke about how well it played and multiplayer and the customization of those maps and whatnot. And Halo Infinite just doesn't look like it's ticking those boxes. Halo 2 did look good, I'll admit.
But I'm just thinking now, right? You remember Fable 2 was an Xbox exclusive.
Halo 2 was specifically a 360 exclusive.
Is it as well? Yeah, so they did the same with Fable 2. Why can't they just do it with the new Fable they're releasing? Make that, because I would literally then get an Xbox just to play the new Fable.
Sure, that is definitely, but that is, I don't think Halo is as recognizable a brand name as Halo. I don't think it's anywhere close. You know?
No.
But if they push it and like, they just make
It's far more
make it
niche.
really good, and then they can get their first like really well done exclusive.
Yeah, out of the gate, like if they are. But I mean, Fable 4 is still a long way away. Fable 4 is a long way away. But yeah, it is, and you're right, it actually is far more niche than Halo because it doesn't offer. That's the thing for Microsoft is the ecosystem now. Yeah. That multiplayer integration is massive, and Fable is.
I can't imagine Fable.
Oh, can you imagine?
Maybe co-op system.
Can you imagine? They announced a new Halo, a new Fable, an MMO.
Or not.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Woo! Jesus! Can you imagine the fallout? I would be so cross. But yes, that is the if they had to release Fable as an MMO, it would be a real injustice. Speaking about injustice, you see that I did there. Speaking of injustice, this one is more for me because I don't think either of you have played the other Injustice games.
That's I know which one that is.
You know the which maybe
Yeah.
It's the DC superheroes beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, we played that.
Oh, you play it?
Yeah, Chewie demolished us, so we stopped playing it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I will stay too young because I played a lot of Injustice 1. Injustice 3 was again in a week where I was disappointed by the Avengers. It was just really nice to see that Injustice 3 is going to be a thing. It was teased by digital artist Boss Logic. I don't know if either of you have seen Boss Logic's work.
No.
He designed the cover for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. He's very, very, very good. And he basically tweeted out a piece of art which just said Injustic 3 is the 3 is the E. And I'm not right. I refuse to write it like that because I'm not having a stroke every time I look at
like
the word.
it.
You like it?
Yeah.
There are aspects about this logo that I really like.
It looks like balls.
It does look a bit like balls. So the thing that is really sort of interesting me about this is that this image. Can we get it behind us, Heath?
The logo.
The logo. I don't know if we got it before, but the logo. There are some very cool things in here that are making me, for want of a better word, froth. The one is all the Watchmen teasing. There are lots of things in this image that are very Watchmen specific. The clock is very iconic to Watchmen. The smiley face in the corner there. The Dr. Manhattan symbol above the eye. Like that, you can't be more blatant than that.
Okay.
You know?
What does that mean?
Well, it means that if
the Watchmen are going to
be in Injustice 3, which ties into DC's Rebirth, which kicked off in 2016, and spoiler alert, was the official introduction of Watchmen into the DC canon. Yeah, that's why I think it's going to. And a lot of people have issues with it. I know Alan Moore has sworn off DC and hates them because they bastardize his work. But I kind of just like the Watchmen, and I like the idea of a DC universe with both Superman and Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Both all-powerful gods, one who has built on compassion and empathy, and the other one who is built on the opposite. That's cool. I love that idea. I think that's really interesting.
You're geeking out so hard
I'm
now.
Sorry. I'm so excited.
It's fine.
I love the Injustice verse. If anyone played the original Injustice game and wanted to go and look into more of that universe, they released a volume of Injustice comics. They called it Year One to promote the game, and it was so good that once it finished and the game was out, everyone was kind of like, we want a bit more, please can we have more? And then they released 5 volumes of the thing, and it is fantastic. They literally bring in, like, to defeat Superman, they literally go to God, like actual God, and God's like,
that's the thing about Superman, he's God.
Yeah.
He's just a God.
Like Batman
travels from what he was at Beetlejuice, and then somebody made the sound thingy, right?
Yeah.
And somehow the sound traveled faster than the speed of light through the vacuum of space, reached the ear of Superman.
That's amazing! What are you talking about? That's so cool!
Back at Earth without destroying the planet and the whole solar system.
That's so
with his
cool!
fucking speed movement.
So cool. Also, it's nowhere near Secret Wars DC Edition, because Secret Wars is a fucking mess, and we don't talk about that, because, good lord, that was a total shit show. And no one knew what the hell was going on. Even the writers, the only thing more chaotic than it was the Clone Saga for Spider-Man in the 1990s, because that was also a mess. Anyway, we can move on to more DC news.
More DC, why? Oh, this is
This is the good one. Because we need to start wrapping up. This is, I think, the last thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
The other big news was that Rocksteady has, Rocksteady, the guys who made the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
The they made 3 of them. They didn't make Arkham Origins. Underrated gem. They made 3 of the best video games of all time. They released a image of the Suicide Squad game that they are working on with a very nicely designed Suicide Squad logo, I think.
Very cool logo.
I'm amazed it's taken someone this long to sort of do that crosshair.
So the U in Squad is also the C
in Suicide.
in Suicide.
I
It's
think
very good.
I think it's it's really really well
Very
designed.
good.
And
it's like your cross-eye.
the crosshair, and it's on the back of, I think, Superman's head. It could be Bizarro.
It looks like Superman.
Could be Bizarro. Could be Ultimate Man. But
What does Bizarro look like?
He looks like Superman, but blue, and everything is reversed.
See,
so
he's not blue.
He's very pale. Is the thing.
That's
He also has like the reverse.
white man color.
He also has the reverse of all Superman's powers, so he doesn't have heat vision. He has like frost vision, and he has heat breath and shit like that. And it looks more heaty. You see what I'm saying? So it might be Bizarro. But
that's cool.
That's cool. I'm stoked for anything Rocksteady wants to put out. A lot of people are speculating that it might be a live service game like Avengers. Which is just I really.
Can we just go back to like nice narrative driven games?
I really wish.
Like,
my thing is, Kate, I don't mind the live service as a model, right? But who has the time to do have 5 of them, you know?
Yeah.
Because a live service game by definition demands your attention because it is live. It is going all the time.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to dedicate to all of these different lives, and I wish publishers and publishers would figure out that you are going to be able to sell more of your game if you just give this beautiful little contained experience that isn't going to be like 45 hours plus. Be like 8 hours, have an impact.
Oh, that's fine.
Cool, that's great. Bring back 8-hour games.
Isn't that what's going to happen with Miles? The Miles game?
I'm hoping so.
I think it's shorter, yeah.
They said it's going to be, whereas Miles Spider-Man was, I think, like 25 hours, Miles is going to be like 15, which is perfect.
Fine.
That's fine.
Good length.
But yes, I just wanted to bring this up because I want to talk about the graphic design.
The cool logo.
The beauty of that.
It's very
logo.
impactful. Like there's a crosshair on Superman's head.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what it looks like from face value.
See, it is true. They did stop doing those games because people were like, we need more content for what we're paying. And I think
which is fair.
Which it is fair, but like I'm at a point where like
you'll pay less for a shorter game.
I'll pay less for a short game. Yeah. And I think that's why we've had a massive explosion of indie games recently.
Yeah.
Because you're paying much less for. I mean, how much is Grounded? That's not really indie.
170.
170.
In South Africa, by the way.
In South Africa, by the way, we have so much drama. Don't buy it overseas.
Don't buy it overseas.
And then don't do a giveaway and then promise to give someone a code and then turn out to be in Italy or some shit. And then it turns out it's actually €30 and you can't gift a South African Anyway.
Dude.
We've had a week.
But also, thank you, Steam, for making our games.
Thanks, Steam, for being shit.
No, they're making our games cheap.
They're making our
We need to say thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that.
Because that's far cheaper.
It's disgustingly cheaper.
Yeah, what Astrid says, AAA companies won't sell for less. That's why Bungie left Activision.
That's why Bungie left Activision.
That's why they saved up money, took the rights to Destiny.
On that note, I want to play Destiny 2 again.
That's another thing that the Watcher Man asked. Like, if you can take a game back to show your younger self, what would it be? Definitely Destiny.
I think so. Your younger self.
Yeah, like my high school self, I would show myself Destiny 1. Because graphically that game was like
I know, it was above and beyond.
Stunning, dude.
Yes,
like,
no one makes a skybox like Bungie. Bungie has the best skyboxes in like they did their first like live event where like something happened with the moon or something and a satellite blew up. And it was really disappointing because I logged into Destiny 2 for the first time in months just to see it. And I sort of just looked up and then went, like, oh, okay. But at the same time, I didn't mind. If I have to stare at a skybox for 2 hours, I want to stare at Bungie skyboxes, you know? But anyway, that's, yeah. If I could show my younger self any current game, probably be Doom. 2016 Doom.
Oh yeah.
After Doom, after I played Doom 3, and I was like, oh, I don't want to play Doom again. And I'll be like, no. Listen, little Brad, I know school's tough right now, and I know you're still wondering when you're going to get your first hug from a girl. But here, this is what you have to look forward to. And it'll be Doom 2016, and then my year will be made. That's it. That's all I would have needed to say for my primary school experience.
No depression.
None. It's cured.
Final for 2016.
That's great.
Wonderful. But anyway, that was all the sort of main news we wanted to talk about. I realized I spoke about it.
Also,
a lot.
Brad got a new edition on his Steam.
I gifted a copy of Wallpaper Engine by a very lovely being whom I enjoy a lot.
And it is actually very enjoyable.
And it's so cool, right? We spent how long? We spent just like an hour going through like
in
the
morning,
wallpapers.
just like watching.
Just like looking at the different wallpapers and
so
the movie
good.
stuff. It's amazing. It's
So
lovely.
do yourself a favor and
Yeah,
invest in it.
this is the Stuff Plays recommendation. Wallpaper Engine, get on that shit. I just left it too long. Thank you, Lily, who bought it for me, because good lord, I was missing out. But anyway, I think that's all we are. Yes, thank you, Devin. You know very well. I did say it. You know very well who gifted it to me.
Yeah, Devin.
Devin. I think we're about finished. I think we're ready to wrap up here. I think we're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we're going to get into
It might be longer because Brad needs to drive to his house and feed his cat.
I do need to go home and feed my cat, but my desktop is at my house, which happens to be the place.
I hope it's still there.
Jesus, I hope it's still there. Last time I checked, it was there. And we'll be playing the forest in what? We want to say like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing the forest?
Yeah.
Okay, Heath, you're playing as well, right? Okay,
Heath,
cool.
Myself and Brad.
Yeah, we'll be playing the forest.
I've never played it before.
I've played it decent. Oh, exactly. It's exactly who it was. Thank you, Devin.
Thank you. Devin. Nice emojis.
Nice emojis. What was I saying? You've distracted me now.
It wasn't me who distracted.
I know, it wasn't you, it was Devin. But yes, I think that's the StuffCast for the week.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for everyone tuning in.
All of our friends and family.
I love you all.
I think your
lots.
parents have stopped watching.
No, my parents tune in.
Is it?
Yeah, they do tune in.
Oh.
I don't think
I don't
they're
see
driving today. They haven't watched today.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to us talk shit. And I'm sorry I went on about the Avengers a lot. I just hate it.
It's fine. It was good content.
Thank you. It was good. I think so.
We can crop that out and make a whole rant video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please do give us advice. Watcher Man, it's been a long time since I've actually properly played the forest. I played it briefly this week, but didn't get too in depth with it. But anyway, that's our show. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah. See you now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Love you all.